Them
Now let the story begin.
Common, I've known him since we were like 9, 10 years old. We used to play basketball together. And in comes this thing called hip hop. There was no scene, there was no industry, there was no thought of a deal, there was no money. It was literally like, let's try that.
Now coming from Chi-Town, we was the first to do it. Me, no ID, Twilight Tone on the music.
When I helped Kanye and then I saw him break the rules, like, you can't do that. He's like, yes, I can. Why can't I do it? Like, you can't sample Lauryn Hill, it just came out. He's like, I just did. And I said, oh, I'm not bound by this. I can expand it.
Rewind that. Me and Dion back in the zone. I'm doing shows with Tone for the future other side. We gon' bring it back home.
Never created anything in my life sitting down thinking how amazing am I. I just sit down and go, I'm a 17-year-old at heart still trying to make music that people like, put pressure on myself to elevate my level of education.
Rewind that and we could do it again. No ID, Twilight Tone, where the story began.
Who is hip-hop brother? Who is no ID friend? No ID my mentor, and that's where the story ends.
You know, the end of the year, we had to do something special. I'm talking about hip hop. I'm talking about soul. I'm talking about the best to ever do it. One of the best to ever do it. This is Chi-Town City's own No ID. And you say Chi City, you know what it is, man. BackTrak. Check us out tomorrow. We here. So we got this ongoing joke about me being commercial. So I shot this episode to be non-commercial. Am I commercial still?
Of course.
They call me commercial, man.
No, you called you commercial.
I feel like I'm commercial when I go certain places. But it's the episode that everybody been asking me about. No ID, Don Cannon, BackTrak, because this is gonna be a funny interview. I'm gonna tell you why. We know so much about each other. We talk every day. We talk about everything. A couple weeks ago, we went to Delaware and we sat with Jimmy Jam, DJ Premier, and him. I called DJ Premier the heartbeat of hip hop, and I call him the soul of hip hop. So introducing No ID.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? The soul. Many names. Young Yoda, legend. Chicago legend.
First things first, rest in peace.
Rest in peace to D'Angelo.
Today.
This is the room you can explain that you used to work in this room.
Yeah. He had this room for some years, so his spirit is in here. And, you know, it's a down day, but we're going to lift it up.
Yeah, shout to D'Angelo. Voodoo is one of my favorite albums. Glad to have you here. The people don't know who you are. They should know who you are. Chicago's finest. I always call him spending money since 88. You know what I mean? He did his first records 88, 89. And Jay had the line, spending money since 88. But you was really spending the money since 88.
I guess. I don't know. We weren't making no money. I was making the music since 88.
I always heard the story about KRS-One, right? Say he had his records on the radio and he was sweeping floors at the YMCA.
That's right.
Is that something that y'all was doing when y'all was making music back then?
No, I wasn't never sweeping my floors. But
you know that, man.
Definitely, I got $200 a beat on Cannonball Dollar.
Yo.
First album. So,
I mean, made $200 a beat.
I was spending that money for a little bit.
Chicago, let's talk about early Chicago.
Yeah.
And your upbringing. You know, for some people that don't know, you're from what part of Chicago?
Southside.
Southside?
Southside.
Okay.
87th Street, me and Common.
Okay.
We grew up.
Okay. What else?
Chicago,
man. I don't know nothing about
man.
Chicago. You tell me.
We used to hoop. I say that. That's how we stayed out of trouble, because we all know it's trouble. We used to hoop together, and then we went to grammar school together, and then we started breakdancing together. Around the MC era, then we started rapping a little, you know what I mean?
No graffiti, no tags.
I mean, nah.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that type of city. You had to know them areas. You had to be like, you know, some of our friends knew about it, but not in our neighborhoods. It was just trouble.
House music was very prominent.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a DJ. So that's how I really started my music journey.
What was your DJ name?
Dion Wilson, bro. What you talking about?
That was
Yeah.
that was your
Yeah.
DJ Dion Wilson.
And I used to open up for like Terry Hunter and different DJs from that era.
Yeah, shout out to Terry. We just saw him as
Yeah, we used to work with people like Armando, Mike Dunn. That was what the business wasn't so great. Luckily, that's what had me move on a little from that to Common was still rapping, and I was like, oh man, you still doing that? let me do that too. So I made beats for me.
Yeah.
And he just kept taking my beats.
Oh, that's how that started.
I
thought you started working on stuff for him, and then you became
Never.
a rapper later.
I never, because he wasn't even really the first guy rapper out of our crew.
Okay.
Like he was kind of second tier,
Okay.
and I was third tier.
Who was the first tier?
O-Type Star and Twilight Tone. They kind of had their
Twilight
first
Yeah.
deal out of our immediate crew. Then on the other parts you had Crucial Conflict, Twista. It was a lot of different things going on. But in our little section, we was like the underdogs, me and Common. Nobody really wasn't thinking about us. And I remember the day I came and played some beats and he kicked some raps and we kind of looked at each other like,
we got one.
call me afterwards.
What was important about the era? Like, starting in the music, I always tell people that I started very young. I started 5 years old. And 8 years old, I was rapping. 10 years old, I started making beats. And, first album I bought was Raising Hell. What was the importance of that rap period? I mean, I missed it by a little bit, maybe about 5 years. What was the importance and the impression it had on you that early from like 84 all the way down?
Well, 84 in that era, we kind of saw rap as not a thing to do, but more of a thing to play while we do things. So breakdancing was big, so we'd do that, or
Like a hobby.
Yeah, but house music again was our thing. Like we'd go to 4,000 or 5,000 people house party, and it was on the house music on the radio. It wasn't even so hip hop was just on the college radio stations. Some DJs, Chili Q was from New York. We kind of got our first taste of like the SP1200 from him. He had one. My guy, Sean, Rhythm was his producer name. He kind of was opened the door for me as well. He had a lot of equipment. I used to go over his house and learn. So it wasn't ever looked at like a thing to make money. It wasn't even a scene that was a business scene yet.
Yeah.
It was more of like, oh, we some wannabe fly cats. You know what I'm saying? Running around streets, trying to stay out of trouble, but trying to still be cool. And, you start making music just to have fun and stay out of trouble, hoop.
Yeah.
Have fun and stay out of trouble.
You always hear the stories about the disco and house music back in the day, especially in the North. They was talking about raps almost started based on not being able to get into the disco and the house places because they didn't, dress the part. You had to wear a certain suit. You had to be with a certain person. Is that something that was there in Chicago or it was not?
It was a little like that, but then they came with hip house. And it was like,
House.
yeah. Yeah. And then you got juke music. So it was like evolving the way, like house music always evolved if you think about all the subgenres. Even though Chicago is, if not the Mecca, one of the Meccas, but it was always like a drum and bass. So everybody would make their own versions. So I think we all knew hip hop was something. So it was like a way to implement it, but it was always like a little, don't nobody play that. Yeah. And then on the rap side, it's like, man, ain't nobody. So it was a little friction. Certain people brought it together. When you're that age, it's like, where the girls gonna be?
Right.
They was at the house parties. So you got to be in the mix. You got a
house party.
Yeah, the hip hop scene was a little more hard leg. Hey, yo.
Hard leg party. Hey, yo. So the importance of hip hop, we talked about that in Chicago. I want to skip past that and come back. So in the 90s, my favorite era was between 94 and maybe 97. Might be a little late. What's your favorite?
Oh, man. I do this because I heard Criminal Minded and Paid in Full.
So your era's 88.
Yeah, that is the point. That's the apex for me as far as influence.
I got you.
Like the way Rakim and Eric B dressed, the way KRS, the way they both mixed in information with street edge, it was like the perfect example to me of why I want to do it. Because I know I want to learn about life, God, all these things. But I'm from Chicago.
Right.
Like, I want to be square as possible. But I'm from Chicago. I don't know another way other than to keep one eye open at all times or, you know, foil the plot. So that was like the soundtrack for me that made me go, man, I want to make music beyond fun. It was like, man, that's my era. Like 90 to 94 was kind of like, I'm getting into it. But you got to remember maybe around 93, not remember, but around 92, 93, I met the Beatnuts and VIC. And those are the people that really kind of taught me about digging for samples and how to use things beyond me having, maybe say on Can I Borrow a Dollar, I was like taking the slow cuts off disco albums and hooking them up, but I didn't know nothing about digging for the jazz the way I eventually learned how to find the breaks. And I was probably one of the original people buying the records in the region. And I used to send a lot of records back to a lot of different producers in New York, Buck Wild, and just different people. So I started to learn from people on the East Coast. And that was the shift from Can I Borrow a Dollar to Resurrection.
That's why I wanted to bring that up, because we weren't supposed to have errors. You know what I mean? Back then you had parents like, don't do that rap shit. Go to school. Do this. Because there was no time and everybody thought it was a fad. You know what I'm saying? People was like, oh, rap gonna be here from 80 to 87 and then we're gonna be on to something else. So that's why I asked about the era. Did you run into that? Did you have to defend that?
No, because, you know, my parents gave me a rule, like have a job, be in school, or.
Damn.
So I came to them like, hey, I know, I got it. It's all good. And I drove down to Tallahassee where Common was because he was still in school. I said, hey, bro, we got to sink or swim now. So the last thing I was thinking about was an era.
Yeah.
It was more like, man, we got to get people to like what we do enough. And, you know, he had a record deal by then. So I just said, hey, my hard drive, well, it ain't even hard drives, my floppy disks are yours now. It was urgent, but it wasn't urgent because, you know, we were smart kids. We had good family structure, but, you know, shit happens. Can I say shit?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit happens in Chicago. Nothing was promised. The business y'all look at now, we didn't look at that as an option.
Right.
We just like, can we get people to like what we do?
Right.
So maybe we can do some shows. Maybe we can get a couple bucks. I don't think it was until one day it all made sense that we start thinking about money, business, eras, you know, now you got Puff and different things happening. For me as a producer, at least, you know what I'm saying, not even counting Nas and Jay and Big and things that kind of raised the bar on what were looking at. Because before that, it was just like 30 days later, the LP went gold. So what you're saying, it wasn't mogul.
Yeah. How important was selling out at that point too? Like when you said 30 days later, LP went gold, then it couldn't sell out. How important was that then?
I mean, that was everything because it was still about respect.
Was that because everybody was broke, or was that because you just wanted the respect? Because I'm sure a lot of people wanted to cross
like, you know, I'm in Chicago, like I would say me and Traxter like kind of forged rap into commercial space, and we always describe it as the pursuit of dopeness.
Oh,
we
so
just
you
want
commercial now.
No, I ain't commercial.
We commercial.
No. Pursuit of dopeness. Just want to be dope.
It's
like when people give you that nod and be like, my man, you know, that's it. Not even, yo, commercial is, yo, that's Don Cannon. I know him. He be on tomorrow.
I get it. The landscaping is important too. Coming from Philly, the only way we could win was to go to New York. Did you have that from Chicago? I know a lot of people talked about it being from DC and everything. It was like you weren't part of hip hop if you weren't in New York.
Oh yeah, no, we would, and that's what I'm saying. When when Old Type Star and Twilight Tone got their record deal in maybe 89, we all went out to New York and we went to a New York party, you know, around those times. They went first, then we came a little later for the new music seminar, which is where Common got discovered. Dope. And we just was out there and it just looked like what was on TV, like, cause you know, you had like Break-In and Wild Style and all kind of movies, and we out there and we seeing people that was in the movie dancing in the club, you know? So it's like seeing an actor or somebody that you know from a movie, like, damn, we at the real club that was in that movie with the real people. So it's like, all right, we tasted the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And cause you know, every place got their culture. West Coast got their culture. Chicago, we got a culture. But New York was the culture of hip hop, right? And that bled into other cultures in the way that it did. No different in the South. No different than when we was in Tallahassee. It was Luke and Miami bass music was the culture. The first time me and Kama opened up at FAMU, we was opening up for Luke.
I know that was crazy.
Nah, it's crazy. It's crazy because I'd never seen this show, and you know, and it was crazy. It just should have been a strip club, as far as I knew. You know what I mean? And everybody like, what are y'all up here doing? Get off the stage.
Why would they pick y'all to open up for Luke? It's crazy. It's so different.
He went there.
I got it, but he wasn't making that type of music.
I know.
Go ahead. What was the show?
Maybe he wanted to do the show. I don't know. But I felt like Jesus up on the stage. A few pennies flew too.
What?
Yeah, man. It was like, get off the stage.
They threw pennies on the stage?
Yeah, we ended the show early.
Bruh.
I felt like on the cross.
Bruh.
Jesus.
Why was they throwing pennies?
Get off the stage, man.
Just
Where's the
get off.
dancers? Where's Luke? What are y'all doing here? This is the South. Why are y'all rapping up there with these clothes on?
When y'all came off the stage, what y'all say to each other? We ain't never doing this shit again.
Nah, it's crazy because we had to go up to New York and open up for KRS in Jersey or something.
Damn.
That was a whole
character building.
Yo, hey, you know. That's why, like, right now when I see the state of the industry and people be like, yo, is it this, is it that? Yo, man, this is all I knew in the first place. I didn't know Big Money, records and all this. I knew, man, find something good, make people like it.
What stopped y'all from going back to Chicago and just saying, yo, you see what New York is doing? Let's make an infrastructure here for us to build here.
I
Instead
tried.
of saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just dip out of here and go to New York.
No, I tried. I stayed and I tried. That's where the Shauna and Infamous Syndicate, Tifa and Kanye, and, you know, I would tell Common, like, yo, let's start a label and let's put it all together the same way Dre just did it on the West Coast. But I feel like he more likely wanted to do the move he did, which was go out east. He kind of got with the Soul Aquarians, which was good. You know what I mean? It was good. And I think we were also young. We wasn't great businessmen yet.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard when nothing's happening in your city of a scene beyond 2-3 crews or individuals. You know what I mean? I tried. We tried. But, you know, it's also competitive. You know? I think Common was probably thinking about what he might have thought was the best for him, which there is no best when you're really that good, but it's just the choices you want to choose. And, you know, also Chicago's a little shady, man. You can help people and that don't mean nothing.
Yeah. So you packed up the range and got out.
Packed up the range.
Where's the first place you went? Did you go to New York? Did you go to Jersey?
First place I went was Atlanta.
Oh, you went to Atlanta first. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as moving.
Okay. Why was that?
Because I admired what Jermaine was doing from a business standpoint and music. And I felt like I didn't know some things that he knew. And I hit him one day and I was like, hey man, I'm gonna come down there, man. Let's work together. Hop up under your infrastructure. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, don't trip. It's cool. It's a trade off. I got some things you don't have. You got some things I don't have.
All right.
Right? And I was, I'm a humble person at heart. So it was more like, man, sit the ego down and get out the Chicago bubble and go see, what this is. I'd already been to the East Coast. The West Coast is a little different. I wasn't just going to pop my head out here. I'm from Chicago. I was not going to just walk up into LA and just be like, I'm here, I do music.
Right.
It ain't really like that. And I'm from Chicago, so I know it's not like that.
Yeah.
But Atlanta was more like the South, like a very friendly, warm, hospitable place to be. So that was my choice. And it was so far from what I know. I kind of knew what West was, and I knew what East was, and I knew what we were. I knew I was soulful in my heart. But the South just had something different. And I just needed to see. My sister lived there. It just felt like the best place to go. Not just go, I'm learning from Jermaine, but like soak up a different energy. And it worked.
I feel like you're the poster child for trust the process. Like anything you do, you have like a whole method of things that you're going to do. This is going to happen this year. This is going to happen this year. This is why I'm doing it. So when you went to Jermaine, did the process, did you learn a little bit more about the process that you were seeking, or you had to railroad and go in different places? What
I really learned was he was a songwriter that produced. I remember I was shooting hoops in his gym one day, and one of my friends, Jaha, was like, yo, what's the difference between you, him, and these other producers? I was like, I ain't an artist. They artists. And he was like, no, they write songs. And you don't. Years later, I write songs. But before a while, it was like, I don't sing. I don't, but down there, I was watch Jermaine sing, and I'd be like, hey. You're not singing.
You heard the demos.
Okay. I heard the demos.
Yeah.
And was like, when it was Let Me Hold You, and I heard the demo, I was like, how's this going to work? I don't even know what is going on.
But you was already halfway there. You had already had an album out.
I had multiple albums out.
The one I know about, yeah.
Well, my album. Yeah.
That, as a rapper, meaning?
Because I started as a rapper.
Right.
And I was making beats for me.
Right.
And Common just was excelling. And he had the desire to be a star. I didn't. I just had the desire to be dope.
Yeah.
Truth is, when he got his deal, I went to the A&R and was like, what else you looking for? And he described it. And I went and did a demo in 2 days and gave it to him. He's like, give him a deal. And then I realized, like, man, I don't want to rap. Why am I doing this? Because I know how to put words together. So I kind of just got it off my chest and quit.
But the reason I brought that up is because now you're seeing Jermaine do this. And most producers don't like their they don't like their voice.
Yes.
And that's what I'm doing. But you already had an album out that was popular. You could have saw that and be like, yo.
But I was also so keep it real.
Oh, got you.
You see what I'm saying? Not singing.
You didn't want those demos to come out later like,
first of all, R&B, singing, what?
Yeah.
I'm hip hop, which was some New York rules.
Yeah, that's facts.
And I kind of got out of that from when I helped Kanye, and then I saw him break the rules. I was like, you can't do that. He was like, yes, I can. Why? Why can't I do it? I was like, you can't sample Lauryn Hill. It just came out. He's like, I just did. And I said, oh, I'm not from New York. I'm not bound by this. I can expand it. After Let Me Hold You, it was clear that
I know it was clear. It was
that
number one.
I know hip hop, but I am not here to imitate the restraints of an era. That's the best way to say it. I'm here to push something forward.
That's something to learn from in itself. Kanye really saying, yo, I can do whatever. Is that the first person you've seen that didn't have the rules and the Chinese secrets? Like, bro, you can't sample what just came out on the radio yesterday. He was like, yes, I did. And I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And how did that change you?
There was an era where you got credit for finding rare loops.
Yep.
And I realized as music was more available, less people cared. So I think that was the first person that was like, man, I ain't even playing that game. Well, I need a rare sample. this sound good.
You think that because he didn't think he was that good, or do you think he was?
He
like,
was
"Man, I
never.
just
He
wanna take
never
it back"?
was introduced to digging.
Gotcha.
Like I met him, and I just was like, "Here's some records.
Got you.
Go learn."
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't realize I'm older than him. Yeah. So him being a kid trying to hang around us was already like, yo, first of all, it's dangerous.
Get out of here.
Second of all, you too young.
Yeah.
And you're just different. You're not even really from this. Because a lot of my friends and common friends, they was like looking at him like, hey, watch this kid around us, you know?
Yeah.
We got things to do, and this kid is coming around.
Yeah.
So it was more like, hey, man, go learn. So he never really went digging for records. He didn't really meet the diggers. He didn't.
Yeah. And he wasn't trying to be. He wasn't trying to be of that part.
No, I think he would have if,
okay.
You know, if you 15 years old, 16 years old, and I'm going driving to Rockford to a record store, you in school, your parents got to say it's cool, you know. Do you have any money to buy any records?
Right.
It just was a circumstance, but he was smart enough to know if I ain't got no samples, I'm going to make the best. Because when I met him and I told him, I said, he'll sample off the radio. He didn't even, it was by hook or crook. He was going to do that. So it's just the way it fell, man. It wasn't.
And you didn't show him any equipment. So he didn't be like, yo, use this.
I did.
Oh, so you told him to get the ASR and all that.
I don't know if I told him to get that. I told him to get, I had him get an SP1200. I remember when he sold his first beats, he went and got a Jesus piece. And I said, hey, bro. And then he came to me like, man, why my drums don't sound like yours? I said, because you didn't buy the equipment. That's why you bought the Jesus piece. So I remember even going like, man, give me the chain, take the equipment, I'll get some more equipment.
Right.
And I'm looking like, nah, I'm sitting here with a chain.
You're right.
And I'm not even a chain guy. I'm from Chicago. We don't walk around with that type of jewelry in 19, whatever that was. That's just foolish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was more of, I got indoctrinated in an East Coast manner, which made me creative. But I had two things going for me at that time, which was in house music, we would do edits. So that's where I learned how to repeat parts of the record that were infectious.
Yep.
You know, so between house edits and East Coast digging, that's No ID, Resurrection era, right? It wasn't until I went down south that I added other elements in my psyche. It's almost like being a chef. I was like, oh, yeah, let me put some more seasons and things, and now I can experiment and mix things up a little more and not be bound to some rules that actually didn't serve some of my heroes in the long haul.
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was just one of them things as an art form during a specific era that was a thing. Right? Marley Marl didn't have to think about that. And just later on, people don't think about it. They don't care. They can sample anything. That's how you hook it up in a rhyme style, true.
Coming up, that you was in the game. I know when I was coming up in, early 90s, 95, I hadn't had a placement. I ain't known stuff. I was still moving around. I was fans of certain people and what they did. I always told people that DJ Premier was the person that I patted my style off of until my training wheels came off. Being that you were in it, you were already older and y'all had records out. Were there some people that you still were fans of? Like, yo.
Oh, yeah.
Who were you fans of?
When I was there, it was definitely Primo, RZA. It was the Beatnuts, Q-Tip, all the Digging in the Crates guys. I was cool with Finesse, but I'm a student at heart.
Yep.
So I would be fans of things that I felt like I could learn from. Some things I just enjoyed. Like, I wasn't thinking about Scholar Rock or Said G when I was thinking about Criminal Minded. I was just like, man, this jamming. You know what I mean? Follow the Leader video and be like, man, I need a jacket like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
Yeah, I wasn't like, yo, what's that bassline sound? Or, you know what I mean? It wasn't until I got around producers that I was like, oh, this is an art. Large Professor, Pete Rock. These are the things that was like inspirational, but man, we gotta compete with them. They gotta acknowledge us at least first. They gotta be like, yo, all right, we see you, you know. So the De La era, like I was just I was a fan of it all. We got to remember, we going to the record store in Chicago because they got rap. You know, but I was still listening to Too Short. I was listening to, if I was a rap album, I was going to get it. You know, so I actually did get to live through those records coming out.
Right.
Going home, listening to them, thinking about it, asking friends, man, how you do that? What breakbeat is that? What's that? You know, it wasn't really until I call it the diamond era, because I go golden era and then the diamond era. The diamond era was like, nah, we're going to get this money, you know, by any means necessary.
What was the diamond era? The year?
You know, the year for me is 93 to 90, to the late 90s.
Okay.
That's when it was like, man, it don't matter.
Right. So it was like Mobb Deep, Biggie, Pac,
Jay.
Got you.
It was like, man, we from the streets. We don't give a damn about
Trying to get out the projects.
Yeah, we trying to get to it.
Got you.
We not playing.
Right.
And it was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, we could get money? Y'all got things. Okay. But you know, I was also, again, I'm balanced. So as it lost a spiritual edge, it wasn't like I was just going to resort to my old self, because I kind of grew past. Again, I wanted to be square, because you lose people. You see clear. You're like, man, that's nowhere to be tough. There's nowhere to be thinking this is something to be. You know, I was clear at that point. So it wasn't like I didn't understand the street element of the music, but I just knew it was a shift in, hey man, we could sample Annie, we could do anything. And it was like, oh, word. Okay. A new goal, you know. So then it wasn't until Common moved to New York that I was like, oh, we not like a group. We're not like Rock and CL Smooth.
Right.
It's like, oh, you got to stand on your own too and be a producer. And then that's when I took it serious. Before I took it as like a strong hobby, like a artful thing.
Yeah.
And I actually lost a little bit of my love for it when it became a full business. It didn't really satisfy me the same ever again.
I wanted to jump into that, but before we get there, you one of the people I consider the most competitive. I tell the story about this guy's the most competitive person I know. Anything we talk about, he gonna get 12 of them. You talk about having the 808, you talk about having a high 60, you gonna have 6 of them. You competitive. In that world we just talked about, you talked about the diamond era, right? In the diamond era.
Diamond D, too. No.
Diamond D.
I like that.
I get that. That era was where it was still competitive, where y'all going record shopping, y'all going digging and not telling people what record and what record store it was, where certain records came from. How did y'all get from a point where we like, oh, it ain't no rules, man, we got to get to this money, but still competitive and not telling each other where you found a baseline at, what's the next machine, what's the next record?
When I made that shift, I think things happened where a lot of those people career trajectory shifted too, right? So a lot of people I looked up to kind of hit the glass ceiling, be dick and keep it real hip hop, you know.
Gotcha.
And to this day, they'll be right there, like they keeping it alive. And I'm like, I'm just trying to do something good, you know. I didn't bring it to birth in the first place, you know. And I started thinking about falling in love with like Larry Smith production, which was less samples. You know, I started listening to Quick, Das. You know, like looking through the fine credits and really seeing all the different people that you may not see. You'll know Dre, but you may not know what Das really did. You may not know what rapper got in a car accident. Through beats. I'm just drawing.
I drew a blanket too.
You know.
Yeah. We'll get to it.
Yeah. Y'all can edit that up. Yeah. Even like DLC, like, you know, and you just start studying. And you're like, oh, this is expanding. Oh man, look at Mike Dean and his face down there. They doing something else, you know, Ghetto Boys. Then I was like, oh man, them rules was just over here in the bubble. You know, and I felt a little more free about what I wanted to do. That was more what drove me at that point, was because I wasn't thinking about that no more in terms of gaining people's respect. Because I kind of felt like the people that I didn't get respect from Resurrection don't mess with me anyway.
Right.
They're not gonna mess with me. Like, and that was like, you could do a better version of that, and it still really might be the best version of that. Just let it be. You know, let's not repeat that but so many times.
Yeah, I wanted to get into the business because I wanted to talk about pub deals and things like that. People are that are on the table for people now. Did they have that in the 90s? Was people coming to y'all like, yo, I want to sign you as a producer, as a writer?
Man, I'm from Chicago. I didn't know nobody. You know what I mean?
But
until I started leaving. Yeah, but I didn't have no manager. You know what I mean? I didn't have nothing. I just did beats with my homie.
I got you.
And when my homie was gone, I didn't know. Then it was like, all right, figure something else out. So it wasn't until I started venturing out, because I wasn't just doing Common, that I started, then I got my first pub deal. Then I got but you know, them deals wasn't so favorable.
Right.
You know, and you don't really know what's possible until you meet somebody that kind of knows. Again, the thought of being rich off music still hadn't came into fruition. It's like, no, we just doing this.
Yeah.
We're going to make some money.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be a billionaire.
Right.
May not be a millionaire, you know?
Right.
May just be straight.
Right.
And loved. So it took stages to get to a place where that was a concept.
Yeah.
Because again, don't forget I'm in Chicago where nobody got nothing. It probably didn't really pop up into my life until Kanye got to a certain level. Because even in the beginning, it wasn't like that. And even then, I think I decided like my career path was going to be more like Rick Rubin meets Quincy Jones. Because I felt like those were the only people I saw with like 30, 40-year careers.
Understandable.
And I had a saying that I always tried to live by, which was, I had seen enough people make hundreds of millions of dollars and lose it all early in their life and not have anything when in their 40s or 50s. You know, I'd seen enough of that to go, now I need to make the most money later in my life, not early. And I always intentionally try not to, I don't do a lot of interviews, I don't do a lot of talking. It's really because I don't want to wear my welcome out. I'm not here to over promote myself.
Right.
I'm just here to make some music. If you know about it, cool. You don't like it, you do.
To leave a legacy.
Yeah, I mean, legacy.
What we working on?
Hey, man.
What we working on?
Work on what?
Work on what? We're going to tell that story later.
Yeah.
You always told me, too, what you need all that money for, man? You know what I'm saying? This is one of the things you always broke down in business, like, what you need all that money for? And I took that as you drive by passion, money comes, right? For the people out there, why did you make that statement of what you need all that money for? Some people don't understand that.
Well, because it's a lot of people that got low self-esteem and money help them.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of people that got real dreams of helping people. There's a lot, you know, it's a lot of reasons you want a lot of money, but with a lot of money come a lot of problems.
That's right.
We know that. I always felt like, okay.
You got money in.
Yeah. You still, I heard Russell say it one time. He was like, you sit your butt in one seat of one car at a time. It don't matter how many you got. Nobody can drive 20 cars at the same time. Nobody can live in 20 rooms in a house, you know. And also what I learned over time was a lot of my heroes, what they left behind, the family didn't do their will. Prince didn't want his music in the hands of the companies. Soon as he was gone, it's in the hands of the companies. So what did you fight that fight for? So it's the same thing. Like, people want a lot of money. What do you want it for? Okay, I want to leave it to my kids. All right, but then are you there enough to ensure your kids have the same mindset that you have, or were you just making money and then they waiting to just give it away to get what they need? Because We don't understand that part of legacy. Did you instill the values that you have in them?
Facts.
Did you have values?
Yeah.
Or did money make you lose value? Did you just go so crazy when you got the money? Because money will get you high and drunk even if you don't drink.
That's right.
So I could just see all these things. You know, the industry just chews us up, spits us out.
Right.
They don't care. Nobody cares. And we running around acting like we smarter than we are.
That's real.
You know what I mean? So I go like, what are we doing with the money? Do we got a plan or we just want to say we got it?
Right.
Okay, you got it. Congratulations.
You got it.
I'm happy you got that. Now, what?
What's the plan?
If I'm happy, that's all that matters to me. If I'm living life the way I want to live it and passing that down to my daughter and instilling her what is most important, that's more than giving her a bunch of money.
That's right. That's a bar. A couple people have asked me this question. I've never answered it, but I had the need to get the knowledge from certain people. When you're looking at an artist, the artist growth versus being dumb, we always talk about the people that work together from inception and you moving forward. What do you think make artists move on from the person that gave them their biggest hits and their best albums and they go on to doing with other people and moving on, and then when that doesn't work, they come back to the actual beginning, like, yo, we got to get back in, we got to do certain things. You think about it, you think about the history of Snoop and how he went to Master P and the history of these things. And then, you know, you've seen it with you and Common, like actually went and did some stuff with the Soul Aquarians. He went Pharrell, then y'all came back together.
And
what do you
yeah,
think?
too.
Yeah. So what do you think the artists spin off and do these things is because is that a natural growth period? Or is it just some people just naturally don't know or they want to feel like they did it themselves? You know, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it's two things for me in my eyesight. I think number one, artists, like none of us get an education before we do this. Most of us don't, especially in rap.
Yep.
We're not educated. We uneducated humans with talent.
Yep.
Right? So you get lucky because there is no manual to success. You get put on, you get discovered, right? That's the first thing. And that's usually where people are happy to sign to people. Like, you found me, please sign me. You know, get me out of this position.
All right.
And then it goes to, you ain't got that, you ain't got this. And it's like, wait a minute, I didn't even know about this. What's going on? I don't have the things I'm supposed to have.
Yeah.
But you're not really educated.
Yep.
You're just repeating what somebody said, right? And it's a lot of manipulation that occurs in between all this. So then that's on the negative side. On the positive side, there's, I only know what I've been around. I got to go around some other things. How can I get around these things without offending the person or the people I started with? Because it'll get offensive. And once offense comes into play, letting that energy be the energy.
Yep.
Right? It's like, man, but you did this and you said this and I didn't know this. And matter of fact, I'm just going to go that way because you did me wrong.
The new cooks come in the kitchen.
And they go, oh, they didn't tell you this? Oh,
you ain't know
man,
about
come
that?
on, man, we got you. Those cycles happen over and over and over. And eventually you run back to the people that was there when it was nothing. And then you go, man, my bad.
But how do you keep a level head as a producer musician with it from that point?
I just say, I know there's a term for every business relationship. I look at it and I analyze and I go, this will happen by around then.
What's the term?
I mean, 5 to 7 years.
That's crazy because Mace said, yo, you got 5 years with an artist.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Before it turns over into whatever's going
on. And I say could be 7 because it might take a couple years for it to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But by then, the wolves circle and go, hey, you still doing that? Let me holler at you. And it's just part of the thing. Like, imagine my childhood friend started music with me. So when he left, there was nothing worse that could ever happen to me in music. But it wasn't like, I want to hurt you. It was, damn, you rapping. You helping Kanye.
Right.
You helping all these people. I bet it's self-preservation, right? But I would never think that it would go like that because we were friends, really,
Yeah.
since fourth grade. You know, his manager since second grade, Derek. Like, these are my friends. But then, you know, after a while, you kind of go through things with friends and you go like, oh, it's seasons, you know. Some of the people I grew up with, we talk less. Some of the people I didn't grow up with, we talk more.
Yep.
You know, and once you make it not personal, then you don't have the emotional baggage.
Right.
And then it's, all right, make another Hove. It's do it again. Or admit you got lucky.
But being creative is hard because now you're building synergy. You're becoming cool. You're being this, and then it goes that way. What stops you from being a person that's saying, yo, I don't fuck with him no more. I don't fuck with them no more.
I mean, you say that for a minute, but these still human beings that you spend a lot of time with and invest a lot of energy in, you know. It's just if you know, I had one artist, I was like, hey man, you want a 20-year relationship or 2-year relationship? It could go either way. I'm not tripping. No, I'm with you. Not really. But it's all good because I'm gonna stay sharp on my craft, right? And I want people to work with me because I'm good. Not because you owe me loyalty, right? I'm not interested in doing nothing except being good at what I do. As long as I can be good. It's hard to be good decade to decade.
That's a fact.
I heard Swiss say you got to reinvent yourself.
Yep.
And I just say, man, you got to rediscover each decade. Like, it's a new 16-year-old that was 6 years old.
That's right.
10 years later, that's like, man, I don't know what you talking about. I don't know what you did. I don't know you. I heard about you.
Yeah.
What's up? And I'm always there like, yo, what's up? I want smoke. Where we at with it?
Definitely want smoke.
I want some, you know I want
You
smoke.
definitely want smoke.
And it's creative energy. I want smoke. Like, I want to hear music that make me go do music.
Yep.
I get down when I hear bad music.
Right.
I'm like, yo, this is terrible, man. What is this? How am I supposed to get up for the fight?
Right.
Ain't no fight. So then I found myself in little lulls because I just don't hear nothing to give me that. I was a fiend before I became a teen. I'm out the microphones. When I heard that, I was like,
damn, I got to get on my shit.
gotta get it. I got to get there. And sometimes I just hear stuff and be like, yeah, you're going to make some money, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations, man.
I don't. No shade. Just don't inspire me.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. I know it's going to work. If that's your path, a 40-watt light bulb to shine 40 watts ain't a crime.
That's right.
A 120-watt light bulb shining 40 watts is a crime.
That's a fact.
I ain't no 40-watt light bulb.
There you go.
So certain things don't mean nothing to me.
True genius. I wanted to talk about too, Instagram, Twitter. They had MySpace. That's when the stories became real. There's a legend that I never heard out there, right?
Okay.
That when you started with Jay and he was building the team, that you and Bink were supposed to be the original Kanye and Just. I just want to get this clear because I've heard the story before, but in the legend of music, there's always been this, No ID and Bink didn't want to
I'll tell the real story.
And I want to hear the story so I can say, there's the real story. Because
I got the real story.
Social,
I got it.
you know what I'm saying? We heard these
Don't
stories.
forget Hip Hop Brother who was No ID's friend.
Okay, so give me the story so we know.
Yeah. So this is the story.
Okay.
When Resurrection came out, it's funny. Monop has set up a panel with me and Traxter and his partners.
John Monopoly.
Yeah, yep. John Monopoly. And Chicago at the school, I think it was. It's Columbia, maybe. And hip hop came out to the panel.
Hip hop's a person, by the way.
Hip-hop's
I
a
talk
person.
about hip hop and hip hop. Yeah.
Since 1978.
Do your knowledge.
Do your Googles.
Do your Googles, man.
So I met him and we just was cool. Like, you know, we was talking about, you know, I think Jay was working on Volume 1. And he met Manop, he met me. But me and him like had a different type of cool connection that really wasn't talking about just business. Me and Hop would talk for hours on the phone, you know, about music. Like, that's when I first came around Jay, but I still had this Chicago gene in me where it's like, I come around, I see Jay, I adapt, I don't talk to him.
Right.
You know, like, I don't know you.
Right.
You don't know me.
Say, peace, I'm out.
I'm here to see Hop.
Right.
You know, what's up? What's up, y'all? It was Hop vision. Jay don't think like that. Knowing him now, he don't sit around and do stuff like that. He just go, I got these raps, I'm going to do it like this. Y'all figure that out. I ain't got time to figure this out. And every now and then he get into it, but he got so much stuff that's not high on his, you know.
Priority list.
But Hop was the one that came to me and said, hey, I want to start a production team called Rock the World.
Oh, Rock the World. Yep.
He said, before that, he told me, hey, I know the sound I want to do for Jay's next album. I talked to Jay about it already. He's like, I want to go soul. He's like, Buck Wild, Bink, you, right? So that wasn't Jay want to adjusting Ye, right? And Kanye heard the message and called me and was like, yo, man, I'm studying called Quest, P Rock, like I'm about to get on. You know, he was soulful.
Yeah.
If you know his beats before, they was good, but he kind of was looking up to Jermaine, D-Dot, Puff, right? That was the first moment he was like, oh, I'm going to do the soul. But it was because Hop said, that's where we going.
Yep.
So we was all like, word. I wasn't thinking about it because I'm like, I just still do the same thing I do. You basically saying it to me because I do that.
Right.
I didn't think it was even a competition to do that. It wasn't a goal of mine.
Facts.
Right? Because it wasn't like Jay-Z said. It was Hop said, and that's my guy.
Right.
I'm like, whatever, man. We friends anyway, whatever. Who cares? So even if you listen to Just Beats before that, it was like, you know, who want what? It was, you know.
Yeah.
That's not a slight. It's just we're just talking about the truth of what really culminated into Blueprint, right? And Hop and G wanted to do it, right? So I was like, whatever. So when I think somehow maybe Beanie Siegel, I saw all the producers that said rock the world on it. I said, yo, what just happened? Hold on. And I was like, yo, because up to that point, I'm not paying attention, right? When I saw the terms, I was like, I don't want to be involved with these terms, right? And it was certain things that I was like, man, we cool, but let's not muddy it up with business.
Yeah.
And I think what happened is between me and Kanye, he don't have that respect. He'll walk right in the room and be like, listen to these beats.
Yeah.
It's just different etiquettes. You know what I mean? I was more like, hey, I'm already no idea, and I don't need to have everything.
Yeah.
I'm not tripping. And I think then Just and Kanye got into a competition, and they were always there making the beats, which kind of gave the illusion that was the thing.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But the crew that we really were discussing is what Hop's vision was. And that sound was Hop's vision, and Kanye went and made the sound and brought it right there and just saw it and was like, oh yeah, I know how to do that too. I mean, if it didn't go that way, just my bad. But my sight was everybody was just trying to make what Jay wanted. And my understanding is that Jay and Hop talked about it. And Jay was probably just like, yeah, bring me the beats, man. That, knowing him now, he probably like, word, yeah. Bring him. I'm a rap. No matter what you bring me, I'm going to rap anyway. I don't think he thinks about it like that. So I think what it was just a lot of calamity and commotion about getting to one of the best rappers at the moment, and a lot of storytelling. And a whole lot of hearing the stories and responding to the stories. But the truth is, Hop was just trying to make a great J album.
That's right.
And he specifically knew like Buck and Bink and me had things. But then he heard Kanye on Crazy Cat album, which is Derek Angeletti, and there was a couple soulful things on there.
Yep.
And I remember him being like, yeah, like that. He'll just like point out all the different things. It just perfectly agreed with what Jay could do. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, me and Hop had a lot of little tension over just the way, because I was like, yo, man, what's these terms though? You know what I'm saying? Bro, I ain't come this far.
They never resolved them. They never went back and was like, yo, we can fix the terms. Nothing. It just was like.
No, it was just what it was. And then I was like, well, I'm cool. Uh-huh. And Kanye was like, hey, man, I'm going to make it. And just was getting more of the work. He was just sitting there in Bassline. Uh-huh. So he wasn't pitching from outside. He was pitching from inside. Uh-huh. He could just listen to what's going on and go work in the other room. And I think it benefited them the most. You know, I remember one time somebody, you know, was like, that was No ID's biggest mistake, man, when he ain't through that deal with Jay.
That's why I'm debunking it.
I'm like, if you see it that way, but I'm here.
That's right.
I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I might have had a little more money. I might have had a little less money. Who knows? Like, anybody know me, I'm on my path at my speed, the way I want to get there, how I want to get there. I think that's something me and Jay like about each other and have in common too, just as people. Like, he's just on his path, man. I respect where people are. I'm not in a race. Y'all make lists. Y'all talk about legacy.
That's kind of crazy because you're on your path but still competitive. How do you stay in a path? When do you get to the point where you're like,
because the competitive nature is making great music or pushing things forward.
The envelope, yeah.
It's not about you admitting I'm better.
Yeah.
Because you should never, if you want to compete with me, you should never say I'm better. So I'm never looking for validation. I'm looking for inspiration.
There you go.
Right? I want to be inspired. I don't want to win I give you an example. Hop. I got to do it, Hop. I remember one time Hop made a list and he said, man, you and Dilla barely made it in the top 50 producers of all time. I said, what?
What? Hop. Come on, Hop.
Now, mind you, this might be late 90s.
Okay.
Early
that makes sense.
2000s or something.
That makes sense.
But I'm still offended. I'm just so appalled. And I said, yo, what? Resurrection? No? Used to love her? Like, it's 50 better people than me at this point? And he's like, yeah, you know, but hits, man. Where your hits at? You and Dilla ain't got no hits. Mm. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I got a problem with it. And that's why even this day, with D'Angelo passing and Dilla passing and them kind of being like the cornerstones of that neo-soul movement, Dilla playing behind the beat with the bass. And sometimes people just, we get into all this and then when a person gone, it's like they the best thing ever.
Right.
You know,
yep.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
For what culture is, not for me personally, because this is why I don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't care what nobody say because every week I see a magazine making a top list. Bro. It's like, why y'all talking about this anyway? You don't have nothing to do with this. You're not involved in this culture at all other than promoting your magazine, which is no magazines anymore.
Facts.
So it's like we get used. It's no different than LeBron versus Jordan versus this. It's like now people make more money talking about it than watching the game. Mm-hmm. You know, and I just look at it and I go, man, I'm cool. I talk, you know, I'll get competitive, but it's going right here. It's not going, if it's not you, I'm not even talking about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes a relationship for me to even talk.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to talk. It's music.
It's music.
Like, we're either going to talk about talk or we're going to make music. And a lot of this talk is just talk. So I think even trying to figure out that myth is self-serving to whoever jumps out the window. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, who cares? soul music was soul music before anyone else was born.
Yep.
Want to give it up to James Brown. Give it up to Sam Cooke, you know. Give it up to Aretha. Because we all taken from that energy and doing what we're doing, right? And having a crew with bad business terms wasn't good to me. Because we could be a crew with no business terms.
Right.
That's still my guy. Hey,
That's right.
You know, why we need that?
It's crazy.
Oh, because we trying to build businesses. We want to get money. Why we want money? Because we're either trying to get out of poverty or we want luxury.
That's right.
It's a pick.
That's right.
And hey, whatever you choose, I got the right to choose what I want too. I want happiness. You know, I've seen too many of my heroes die in a way that they didn't ever envision. And it's not good on my spirit. It make me go, man, we wasting time there if this is what this is about.
Last bit of the combo. Source, 4 or 5 mics, 3.5 mics. Why was that so important when we're talking about competition and all that? Before, you know, obviously it came to the point where people's like, oh, they paid for them mics, or you did this and this, that, and the third. I think today's generation don't have a valid voice to say this project was actually dominant. This was something that everybody listened to. Then it was like, we opened up hip hop quotable, production credit, 4 mics, 5 mics. That was important. Was that something that you looked at, or why was that important if you didn't look at it?
You can't please everybody.
Yeah.
But you do sometimes respect a voice of reason to give you a mirror. That was a mirror for us because they had been somewhat accurate at a time when people didn't understand hip hop, you know, and, you know, that's that golden era again. As it get to the diamond era where it's like, hey, bro, you give me 2 mics, I'm going to see your ass. Then it's like, all right, man, it's corny. Let's keep it moving. You know, that's where we are. It's like, you can't say what you think. You can't say that's whack. It's like consequences. And what it don't have to even be physical. It's just consequences. Before, golden era is like, this shit whack. And that's a badge of honor to be able to say it. You know what I mean? Like, nah, we keeping a guard on this. You whack, you can get your ass out of here. Now it's like, man, you hating. You're trying to stop my money. What? I don't think about your money. I just don't like your shit.
You hate me.
Yeah.
You got haterade.
Nah, man, what? So I think, man, we lost our culture. That don't mean it's dead and gone. It's just we lost control of it. The world hijacked it. And it became big business.
Yeah.
And we all want big business, right? Personally, I just want my arts and crafts, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's about the art.
Yeah, I know how to make money. People, it's underestimated how you grow through the art of music. You know? Now it's like, hey, man, I just AI it, you know? Okay, man. Well, you could put some artificial legs on and run a 100-yard dash too, if that's what you want to do.
Fake legs.
Yeah, fake legs, and then it's like, all right, who got the best chip in their legs? You know, all right. Hey, man, whatever gets you your money, I hope you're happy when you got it, because I don't know too many happy, rich people.
That's right.
That's the sad part about it.
That's a fact. I don't know if this is your notepad, but recently you're back to writing records.
Yes.
And producing at the same time.
Not always producing at the same time.
Not always producing. But as a writer and knowing the arrangement, that's considered producing, right?
Okay, yes.
Is that what you have coming? You're starting to say, pause, writing records is my next thing. It's my next legacy of what I'm trying to do moving forward. Or is this a pit stop for inspiration?
I thought it was going to be, but now it's more photography.
It's photography.
My love of photography.
All right.
Writing is more of I'm tired of making music, waiting on somebody to make a good song. I'm tired of having songs be subject to the latest trends. Like, I know what I like. I like Bob Marley. I like Steve Wonder. I like Marvin Gaye. I like Led Zeppelin. I like Pink Floyd. I like Prince. I like Mike. I like so many different things. And we got this down to where it's urban music or pop music now.
Yeah.
And every other genre is irrelevant. Mm-hmm. And then one pocket of people like country and the blues market don't thrive, the this, the that. I personally am doing it because I'm back to the same thing. What can I do different that's going to make people say you're dope? That's what makes me tick. I don't even want to live if I don't have that. Even if it's raising my daughter, I want people to be like, you're a dope dad.
Yeah.
I want to be great through action, not results. Mm-hmm. I got a saying, I told it to Troy Carter the other day. He said he'd give me publishing if he repeated. I said, man, the farmer don't get paid to grow the fruit and food. Mm. He gets paid when the fruit and food are available for somebody to have. Mm. You just grow the food. If you wait on somebody to pay you to grow your food, good luck. Mm. Might as well use some AI while you're at it too.
Bars.
So that's just life, man. I'm planting seeds, man. And writing is just planting more seeds. And something happened, nothing happened, who cares? But I'll keep developing, I'll keep energy in my body, I'll keep sanity. I'll have space for God because I won't get distracted by this capitalist usury system that drives us to our graves, unhappy, unfulfilled. So because I was a writer first, I was a rapper.
Yep.
So I got words, and I've been around the best writers and rappers in the world. And all of this will pass, all of this nonsense. I'm just like, I had an executive tell me like, man, you know what you are? You like that vintage chair that is sitting in the room. Everything in the room changes all the time. And that chair is just still there. It's still like, it's like a polo. A polo is just there. No matter what year, the polo's there. And yeah, that's all I want to be, man. Everybody else could be number one, man.
Vintage polo.
Y'all got it. You number one. Don't put me on the list. Leave me off your list, man. I don't even care.
Before we get technical, last one.
Let's get technical.
When you were in Atlanta,
yeah,
we definitely formed a relationship down there. Pause. Got a relationship, growing through music. We worked on Asher Roth. There was a time when you called, hey yo. It was a time when you was like, yo, you spoke to Ye, and he was like, yo, I'm thinking about going out there and just working and being a part of the movement. It takes a special human being
What is that again?
When you went to Hawaii
to
work on things. You had a conversation with Ye about going out there, and you was like telling me, yo, I'm thinking about going out to Hawaii and working with Ye or doing a couple things out there. Was that also a learning experience when you went out there? Was that something you were doing, or you were just like, yo, I need a change from Atlanta scene?
Oh yeah, no, that was talking about this crazy industry. I managed Ye at one point, and I was just like, I can't do it. But I wanted to see him get where he needed to go, no matter what level it was on. But I knew his personality and fame and money was going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really want a part of it. So I would stay away a lot. And because, again, he was so young to me, we never bonded as adults. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I kind of just knew him as a kid, and my mother said it helped because my mother, and I didn't really build those relationships that me and Common may have, like where we first dating and we first, in our first fight, in our first, you know what I'm saying? Not with each other, but like he had joined the gang. I damn near was just in the gang by being around and fighting. You know what I'm saying? And like, I was like, y'all ain't putting me on count. Y'all ain't putting me on, but let's go get him, you know? And, you know, you bond with people through these experiences. And I never really had that with him because he was way younger.
Yeah.
You know, and probably so creative that it wasn't It was a little oil and water in that sense. And I stayed away a lot while he was on his rise at a certain time period where it became the show. You know what I mean? I was like, cool, I'm not in the show. I don't want to be around the show. I hit you, I see you. Let me know if you need something. And working together wasn't even a thought because I had given him all the tools I had. He had got picked up tools from D-Dot. He picked up tools. He was cool. It was like, bro, hit me if you need something. The same way it was when we was younger. But then Malik Youssef, when he lost his mom, was like, hey, he needs you. Not music. He needs you. Like
synergy.
Well, at that point, I was like, oh, his dad really wasn't around. Maybe I was, a different voice that was influencing certain things within him that I wasn't paying attention to. So even when he said I was his mentor, I was like, I don't remember that day that we talked about this.
Right.
But
okay.
If that's what we call what happened, yeah, I guess so. But I wasn't like, hey, I'm about to mentor this kid. I was more like, man, that man be coming to my house at all hours. He really cares about this. It wasn't even negative. It was like, damn.
He really want to do this.
He really, other people don't even care.
Right.
He cares, man. I want to invest help there. That was like, that's good. That taught me a lot, because you give somebody something and they come back with something and then you learn from that and then they see what you did with that and then they go, oh, you did that? I'm going to do this. And next thing you know, you both go like this. And Malik was like, man, he needs you. And I was like, you know what? That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So I went and saw him in New Orleans and he's like, man, I'm going out to Hawaii to do some beats for Jay for Blueprint 3. You want to come? We can work on some beats together. And that was never a conversation. Like, let's make beats with each other. Because my joke would be like, you're going to hit the kick, I'm going to hit the snare. What you mean? You're going to hit chop 1, I'm going to hit chop 2? What are you talking about? Because I wasn't even into... I never had ghost producers. I never had teams.
Yep.
I just was like, might have a keyboard player if I'm doing R&B. But I was like, okay. I was like, just go, man. He needs you.
Yeah.
Human to human. And I went and I could see he was like, he didn't have the same. Yeah. It really was. It took so much out of him.
Yeah.
That I could see the difference.
Good.
And I remember I was like, yo, man, just think like Quincy. Quincy just had like specialists. I was like, if me, you, Basker, Pat, are all good enough on our own, but what if we just, and Mike Dean, if we just treated it like a band and you just lead the band because you're the lead artist. I was like, and I remember the day we did like a lot of beats and we was sitting at breakfast and I was like, you know what happened, right? He was like, yeah, I know what happened. I know what happened. He was like, man, I'm sorry. But he's like, don't help nobody else. And I was like, no, let's just have our little run. We here. Let's just run it, and we ran it.
Yeah.
And it all broke back up when the loss of his mom was gone, and then we got back to the spirit of the business, and then it started turning back into that. And I'm like, yeah, this is what I was away from.
I'm good on the business.
I just want to be happy. I want to make some great tunes. Yeah. When it started getting a little tricky, I stopped. Everybody, all of us, we just all went our separate ways.
Good story. Now we about to get technical. BackTrak. I ain't even intro him, but what you doing, man? What is this?
I thought we do beats on your show.
Oh shit, we do beats on the show.
Okay. I just thought.
What beat is this?
We was gonna do Control, and I couldn't find it. We was gonna do that for Auto-Tune, but I did that before. What else were we gonna do?
We was gonna do
because you said the youth know certain things.
We was gonna do Family Feud. We was gonna do
and you being commercial,
the song.
You wanted a more commercial viable. choice, but we landed on not Family Feud, not a story of OJ.
I'm trying not to be commercial.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you picked
Used to love her.
I Used to Love Her.
Okay.
All right, let me give you the
The
vision.
story.
So you also tried to bully me
Uh-huh.
by saying you ain't gonna pull out no SP 1200.
Yeah.
I got 4.
See what I mean? My man Noah's here. Noah Preston's here. See what I mean about this? This is all I mean, man. This is all I'm saying. He has to put this in. I got 4 of them.
But three at my other studio. This is a newer version.
See what I'm saying? Okay.
But you be acting like I don't get down.
We gonna see.
Hey yo.
Hey, yo. We gonna see.
But I brought that out. And normally, here's the vision in my bedroom in my mother's house. I called it the Leaning Tower. It was an amplifier, S1000 for the speed. It was a stack of equipment that looked like it could just tilt over.
Wow.
With an SP 1200 at the top.
Wow.
The SP 1200 was triggering the S1000. So I'm gonna use Ableton for what I did in the S1000,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna use that because the bass line. If anybody knows about these, we had to play the bass line with this slider.
Yeah.
And I had to make a bass sound and put it in here and just kind of play it like this.
I would have never been able to do that. Line by line. Do,
Yeah.
do, do.
So it was like do 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 do.
Bro.
Do. Hey, it's like a violin. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you're just touching the strings, making the sound. So
How much was this when they first came out? And where'd you get the money from? He was a hustler.
No,
I heard about you.
all of my.
I heard y'all was not to be fucked with in Chicago, but go ahead.
That's folklore. That's not
Folklore.
I don't know, a couple thousand.
Okay.
But I gotta tell the truth. My man Rhythm gave me one because he had so much equipment. Shout out Rhythm, unsung hero for my life. If I had a production mentor person that really believed in me and let me sit there with the equipment every day and night, it was him. You know, other people helped me. Twilight Tone, Old Type Star, and Derek Dudley. Even he was our friend and manager. He might have gave me one too because basically this had 10 seconds. So during the albums, I would do the music in one and the drums in another. We never really hit it what the beat sound like till we got to the studio.
Wow.
So I wouldn't even been able to do beats if I didn't have access, and I couldn't afford them. And it wasn't nothing I was like, hey, Mom, go get me a sampler. Why? We're not going to make no money off this. We're just doing something we like. So the first albums we did, I had two SP 1200s. Then I got an S1000, which you could put more time in it, do a little stretching. So that's where I would start to put my music, and I would still do the drums and the drum machine. Third album, I think I was MPC 62 with a Kurzweil. And I was saying, I just like to switch equipment up every project. It helped me do something different. But, so we're going to start with this portion right here.
Was there a meaning behind this? Did you, you knew exactly what you were trying to do, or you were just making beats, having fun? Or you was like, yo, I want to make this type of record because I know this is going well?
Well, my father used to play a lot of jazz in the house.
Gotcha.
So George Benson became one of my favorites. You know, when I didn't have enough to dig for, I just tried to flip what I had. What we're gonna do is find the loop. We're gonna warp it. Doing too much, y'all. Doing too much. So this was the intro. 92. So that part only came in the intro. And then I kept going around. Now I'm over here. And just listen for the part. Hope I find it. That was 31 years ago.
31 years ago.
32. I'm really 26, y'all. You know the funny thing? I think I put this beat on the answering machine for comment. Or maybe that, or the penny for my thoughts. We used to put beats on the answer machine long enough for him to just keep rewinding it.
Yo, that's some old school shit right there.
That's
all
crazy.
you had.
Well, that's what we're gonna do. Till I saw him. Bring the cassette. Did I miss the part?
I don't know the chops. I just know the beat. So you're not a skip around the sample producer. You listen to the whole record before you get to chopping?
Kinda. Back then, you had to. You had the vinyl, man. Jazz was the one thing that you got to listen to every inch.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Yo.
For the background, that one was crazy. All right.
All this modern technology, man. See, back in the days.
Back in the days. That's an interesting chop right here.
Trim it down. So obviously the part wasn't perfect. It wasn't like a perfect grid loop. I had to literally hear it to kind of make it make sense. Let's see if we got this.
Yo, this is the craziest chop, bro. I'm like, wait, where is he going with this?
I'm gonna trim it a little more. Now, here's some drums. I'm gonna, for the sake of time, let's see, slice to a new MIDI track. I did these drums in the SP2, which we'll get to in a minute. But a lot of things, one thing people don't pay attention to a lot with their drums is the edit of the sound, the way the tail ends. Mm-hmm. So I was always real particular about getting it to be what I view as musical. Which is to not let the sound go. You know, I gotta listen back and remember the drum pattern. 32 years, man. All right, and then I got a bass over here, which I'm gonna solo. Right, and I'm gonna take that bass. I don't think I can loop it because it's just too slow. Or maybe I can loop it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all the high end out. For the sake of this, I'm gonna freeze this in Ableton. Then once I freeze it, I can drag it to another track and that audio. Now I'm gonna tune it down. Now let's take that and convert it into an instrument.
The good bass line.
The good bass line. I played the bass.
Mhm.
Here's the loop. Let's take this, put this here. I mean, we had to just make way with 10 seconds.
That's it.
So,
So did you have to speed it all the way up? So it went.
no, because by that time, I did the music in the S1000, which had more time. So I had this part, and then I had this part. Which was basically the chorus.
You pulled out 808 Southside Mafia, plug it all in there, press play, and there's a beat.
Hey, man.
That's crazy.
Technology has caught up to some things, you know, you gotta.
It's like coming together is like magic.
Let's see. Let's start putting a groove on here.
SP was like, I know what to do.
But of course, and then you have. Damn computers.
Damn you computers. On the SP, how long would it take you to do the beat?
Less time than the computer.
Less time. When you originally did it, how long did it take?
It didn't take long, but I don't remember. I would say 30 minutes max.
Yeah, hang on. But when you originally did it, you was playing the bass line to the music.
Yeah.
Oh man,
But I had to use it the slider,
yeah,
not a keyboard.
got you.
So you had to guess where the note was.
That's even crazier because it's not regimented, so you're gonna get in between.
Yeah, but it only switches in certain increments. So after a while, you start learning. I used to have to play like Soul by the Pound. I had flutes in there, and I was playing the flutes with the faders.
That's crazy, bro.
And drums don't sound like SB 1200 drums, but
Of course not.
what you expect
Of course
32
not.
years later?
Of course not. So what's the yes, y'all? What's that?
That was him.
Oh, you just sampled it?
Yeah, and hey,
That was him too.
him. Yes, y'all. Hey.
Interesting.
Yeah, that wasn't no sample. So if you was here, Common, you could come say yes, y'all. You ain't here.
I got a question about the lyrics. What gave him almost the audacity to even talk in that mode when being from Chicago and being what they would call an outsider because New York had control of the game? You know what I mean?
You know, I'm a big believer in like alchemy, room alchemy. Me, him, and Twilight Tone, very competitive in our own manners and very progressive enough to suggest things, you know. And I think him and Tone actually had the conversation about the concept. I don't know, they can tell you which one came up with it first. I'm pretty sure.
No claim.
I wasn't there, but I know Common wrote it, and it was like really the summation of feeling like people didn't respect our point of view, musically.
Yep.
You know, pennies thrown at you at FAMU, you know, opening up for KRS.
Yeah.
You know, threw a couple of the samplers out, couple came back, you know. Those are like the things that grow you into this space to be able to go like, man, I'm going all out with what I want to say. That's my take on it. But knowing why you started as a breakdancer and why you started as a DJ and why you started, which was nothing but trying to defeat the friend on the block, like, because it was a big thing at first, you know. First you want to just be in hip hop, so you do what hip hop does. Then you want to be like, no, I'm from Chicago though.
Right.
You know, if you look at like Resurrection video in the bar, stepping.
Yep.
Don Juan is there, not because Don Juan is a popular character, but because the Godfather Lounge, Don Juan would pull up sometimes or be on the west side in the lounge, for real, for real.
Yep.
And that was just neighborhood heroes, good or bad, you know?
Yeah.
And I think this song was just a painful love letter to hip hop saying, hey, I'm trying to be in this. This how I feel. This what's happening to it. You know, it's not what I got into it for. I got into it to be dope, which turned into, let's get this money.
Let's get this money.
But by the way, we got this money.
By the way, we got this money.
We got it. Don't get it confused. We did.
Would you say this is one of your most prized possessions as far as art made? And you can turn it off.
No, it's a nice little background to the conversation. But nah, it was I'm gonna call that song the moment we realized we had done something that reached people.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing that has something that has some success. A lot of things can do some numbers, win, be mentioned, but that's when the critics, the Matty C's was like, yo. That's when the hugs come out, when you go places and people be like, yo.
Yep.
People walking up with tattoos I used to love on their arm, and people like crying, and you're like, damn. We thought you didn't care. And then people started being like, y'all got a classic. You're like, what? It didn't feel like Illmatic.
Right.
It didn't feel like Paid in Full to us.
Right.
And then people be like, no, it was Resurrection for us. You know, and it ain't for everybody, but nothing's for everybody. And that's what I mean. It was the first time we was like, damn, I guess we are good at this.
Everybody loves this song. You talking about it's not for everybody.
Well,
this comes on.
You know what I'm saying. It ain't the club jam. It ain't the club jam.
It could be though.
But
there's been places where I played this in the club. And
the eyeball can't see itself.
That's right.
I don't see.
That's right.
You see.
That's right.
I only know what I see. And I'm just saying, from my view, it was like, we put it out, nobody ever agrees with me on this, by the way. Nobody. We put it out and we was like, okay, cool, let's put out some more music. And he went right into, man, we need to go bigger now. You know, the next album we getting Lauryn Hill, we got Erykah Badu, we got Roots, we got De La Soul, we got Q-Tip, we like, yo, we trying to.
Yep.
But creeping up behind us was like, you know, you got a classic though, right? And we like, huh? That was classic? Which, you know, truthfully, in my opinion, when we did One Day It All Makes Sense, it was us wanting to win. And if we would have known what this was before we did that, it probably would have reshaped how we did it. But I still love Invocation. I still love All Night Long. I still love those records. But I don't think we knew. I know I didn't know. It took time. Like, it probably took a good 5 to 7 years before I was like, yo, we did some history? And you know I'm not a big do things for the legacy person. I'm a do things for the love. So it wasn't like we was like, yo, this gonna be legendary. This gonna be class. This is just like, I wonder how they gonna feel about how we feel. Because the things he's talking about, even though it led to the Ice Cube beef, all that stuff, it was really just our view. To this day, I probably still don't appreciate it the way others do. But I'm still on the journey, man. I still make beats. I still make records.
That's right.
We're going to talk about the legacy when I'm done.
That's right. Period.
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 As you can see, we still love her. No idea.
Still love her.
Don Cannon, BackTrak.